Hello everybody, this is Kevin Owens. You are watching Just Alyx. You're going to watch him review some wrestling. He's going to tell you what he thinks about it. He's going to tell you what he likes. He's going to tell you what he doesn't like. He's going to tell you who he likes. He's going to tell you who he doesn't like. He's going to say a bunch of stuff. And it's about wrestling. So if you like wrestling and you like people talking about stuff that has something to do with wrestling, you're going to love this. Just Alyx is the YouTube channel for you. And if you don't like it, don't blame me. Just blame Alyx. I have nothing to do with it. I'm just doing this for him because he asked me to do an intro. You know? Anyway, you're watching Just Alyx. Now listen to him talk about wrestling. Goodbye.
Initiating login sequence. Welcome to Alyx's world.
Well. Ain't this a surprise? Friday Night Smackdown. 3.3 million viewers. Wait, no, at one point, 4 million viewers. This is big. Let me break this down for you. This episode that we're going to talk about happened on Christmas, which is usually the death day for any kind of television. Ain't no one trying to watch much TV on Christmas. They're either out spending time with their families or whatever. Everything else but watching TV. But since we're in a pandemic, I guess you got nothing else to do. Regardless, even if that was the case, the last thing people want to watch is wrestling. But here I am, getting ready to tell you something I thought would never happen. Not only did WWE do its highest rating throughout 2020, it happened on Christmas. This week's SmackDown averaged 3.3 million viewers, and the first hour did 4 million. The last time they did this number was when The Rock showed up on the debut episode for SmackDown on Fox. And the last time they did those numbers was in 2014 when they regularly did about 3 to 4 million. This is ruthless aggression numbers, guys. It's not attitude era numbers. I don't think we'll get back to those for a while. I'm not going to say we'll never get back to those, but it's going to take us a while. This is a good step. So the question I have for you, is this a fluke? Was this just a one-time deal where people were just trying to watch something, didn't have anything else to do, and they got lucky and they landed a good audience? Or is this a sign of things to come? Did SmackDown strike gold? We're going to break it down here in Alyx's world. By the way, welcome to my world. I'm your host, Alyx, Just Alyx, and as most people know, this is a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I hope you liked the video. Subscribe. I hope you had a Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a Happy New Year. Despite all the craziness going around with the pandemic and the virus spreading and people about to lose their unemployments because Trump hasn't signed a bill, but hopefully he will. What are we talking about here? It's Trump. But regardless, this isn't politics. Wrestling. Let's just get to wrestling. As I said, like the video, subscribe, click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. While you're at it, help expand the brand by doing the following things. Get yourself a t-shirt. I have a couple of t-shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Got you an old school Dalyxman t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt. Also get you a blonde hair, blue eyes, apple pie t-shirt. If you're a fan of Charlotte Flair, woo! And other blonde hair divas and female wrestlers. I also have a Facebook page. Like me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter at VX1. Alyx's World. Also give me a follow on Instagram. You can donate using PayPal, Patreon, and Super Chat. Super Chats won't be playing live because this is not a live video, but when I get back to being live, which is next Friday, we'll have live Super Chats. That should be fun. We'll also be doing something different with Patreon. We'll let you know about that in my live video next Friday. In the meantime, email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries or just to say hi. And once again, I want to thank you guys for making me a part of your day. I'm always grateful to be up here to entertain you, to give you guys my opinions, my thoughts. As Kevin Owens said, you get to hear me talk about wrestling, and if it sucks, it's my fault. Thanks, KO. You're still awesome, but let's talk about this big piece of news, ladies and gentlemen. Smackdown on Christmas. 3.3 million views. Let's break it down. Let me get some, let me get a resource up here. This will work. Pro Wrestling Junkies. Y'all go give them a like. If you have Twitter, by the way. This is the breakdown. It says here, the Christmas Smackdown drew its highest rating of 2020, averaging 3.3 million viewers over 2 hours. The first hour did 4 million, and the second averaged 2.5. So it did drop a million. To be fair, it did drop a million, but that's still big numbers. Ruthless Aggression numbers. Not bad. We should talk about the actual episode of SmackDown in just a second, but let me get some more details on this. I want to go to Heel by Nature, who has a graph. I can pull this up, right? Look at this. Check this out. Look at those numbers, y'all. It's pretty goddamn good. 4.0, well, 4.1 to be exact if you round that up. But that's a lot of viewers watching. The coveted 18 to 49 spot, 1.1 million. Woo! That's huge. Look at all that green. As a wrestling fan, this makes me happy. I'm happy seeing this stuff. I'm happy seeing them do good and viewers get the respect that they deserve during a pandemic. And when it comes to the show itself, the question is, did it deserve 3.3? I personally thought it did. I really liked SmackDown. I can honestly see why 4 million people stayed after that football game to watch it. I mean, you open right with Roman versus Kevin Owens, which was smart to hook them. They're the best performers, the best characters. So, yeah, people staying to watch that, I can see. To answer the question of, does this mean the heel turn for Roman paid off? Does this mean that SmackDown is on a good trajectory? I would love to say yes, because I think Roman has been killing it. We won't know until next week. If next week's Friday Night Smackdown does the same number, it's paid off. Without question. I would love to think it has, though. Especially with Sasha doing The Mandalorian and her getting popular as well. There's a lot of elements that we have to think about. But the main ones is Roman and Sasha. Are they going to be the ones to maintain that viewership number? I would hope so. Because this is a good sign of things to come. I really liked this episode of SmackDown. There are some issues that we're going to continue to deal with. The fact that we have that pumped in crowd noise, I hate it. I can't stand it. But until they have a real audience again, we're going to have to deal with it. That's just how it is with WWE. And you know how Vince likes to control things. He needs the people to boo and cheer when they're supposed to. Other than that, though, everything else was spot on. We only had, 4 matches? I guess that also helped. It was 4 very, very good pay-per-view quality matches. The steel cage match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. The 3-way women's tag match for the women's titles. Bryan versus Jey Uso. And then the main event with Sami Zayn taking on Big E in a lumberjack match for the IC title. All the matches were great. Match of the night, without question, was the steel cage match. Why wouldn't it be? It's Roman versus Kevin Owens. They always have amazing matches. This match was no different. It was just as good. I swear to you, it was just as good as their pay-per-view match. And that match was outstanding. This was outstanding too. I love the little things they did. The wrestling was awesome. The match itself was urgent. It was fast. It was quick pace. It didn't slow down one bit. But the little things like Roman getting frustrated, him talking trash to Kevin Owens, loving Jey Uso, handcuffing Kevin Owens' hand to the cage, and then you see Kevin Owens like slide over and you have his feet dangle out of the cage and it's like right there. It's right there. He could have touched the ground. Beautiful. Beautiful. And then you see Roman Reigns with that evil smile on his face, just smiling, grinning, and then he just waltzes his ass. Almost like, I'm trying to remember, what movie villain did he remind me of? Probably all of them. But the way he just looked at Kevin with a smile, and then you see Kevin just kicking him, and he's losing it even more every second. Like, you can see him banging his head on the cage, and then he looked at Roman and said, your children should be ashamed of you. Your family should be ashamed of you. You become a little bitch. Roman is like, your opinion don't matter to me. I'm still the champ. Oh, what a sight. What a moment that was, with Kevin Owens hooked to the cage and Roman walking away with the title and him just staring at him like, yeah, you might be able to out wrestle me, but I'm smarter. Dude, I'm gonna say it. Let's do one more match at Royal Rumble. And I would love it. I'm not saying this is gonna happen, but what if they had Kevin Owens snap and go Kevin Steen? And he realizes, I can't beat you as Kevin Owens, but maybe if I go all out and I tell my family, don't watch, because what I become, I can assure you, you're not gonna love. You're not gonna like. I am gonna have to become a monster like what Roman Reigns is to get that title, to put food on your table. So I hope that happens. I would love to see Kevin dig deep into the dark recesses of his anatomy and become that evil, sadistic indie wrestler that we grew up loving. Kevin Steen. Imagine that. And imagine if he brought back the package pile driver. He couldn't beat him with the stunner, so it would make sense. Like, the evolution into Kevin Steen at this point would be perfect. It would be the perfect route for Kevin Owens. And then, even though he might lose to Roman Reigns at Royal Rumble, you can have him, you'll have a program that he can fight at WrestleMania. I'm thinking maybe Sami Zayn. Why not? They can revisit that right now. They haven't touched each other since 2017, right? Well, late 2017, early 2018. 3 years later. Great. And it's different alignments. Sammy's the heel, face for Owens. Something to do, something to think about. Not saying you have to go that route. You can do different things, but that's a WrestleMania program for him. Maybe you can have Sami Zayn cost Kevin Owens. Something to think about. But then that leaves Roman. What is Roman going to do? Well, we'll get to Bryan in a second, but it's clear he's not going to fight Bryan. I have a suggestion. Have him fight Goldberg. Don't do Goldberg versus Roman at WrestleMania. Let's not do that. Let's not. That's a waste of a WrestleMania main event. No one wants to see that. If Goldberg is obligated to wrestle twice a year, for whatever dumb dick reason, fine. Have him fight Roman at Royal Rumble. Have Roman squash him. And I mean like Goldberg WCW squash him. I don't care if you have him get attacked before the match to weaken him up, to soften him up, and Roman spears him and beats him. Make it a squash match. Make it quick. I would love that, actually. I actually want that the more I think about it. Yeah, at Rumble? Sure. Squash Goldberg at Rumble. And then he can move on to the Chamber. I guess that's next, right? February is Chamber. Let's do it! Let's go. I would love to do that at Royal Rumble. Goldberg versus Roman, and Roman squashes him. That sounds great. The more I say it, the more I get excited for it. I don't know if they'll do that, though. The women were great. Now, as you can see with this cover here, I have to update it. Didn't get a chance to update it, but I literally watched SmackDown. I didn't watch it on Friday because I was spending time with the family. But I watched it before this. It was awesome, like I said. So I didn't get a chance to update this. This will be updated the next time we talk about SmackDown. Now, the women. It was a 3-way tag match for the women's title. We had Sasha, our girl, teaming with Bianca Belair, the EST of all that you see. They took on Bayley and Carmella. Baymella, that was a nice pairing. They should do something with those two again. They're both heels, why not? And then, of course, the women's tag team champs. Woo! Charlotte Flair. Hey, come on now. Hey, I know some of y'all hate Charlotte, but this is something you should have expected. You already knew they were going to put Charlotte on Friday the moment they gave her those titles. Expect to see her again the very next week. She's going to be on all shows. Wouldn't be shocked if she's on NXT. They definitely need her. So, the match was good, and people were upset that Bianca Belair ate the pin in their match. The thing is, here's what I'm going to say. Last week was stupid. With Bayley just outright pinning Bianca Belair. Oh, she poked her eyes. And? Like, that's a big... Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. I'd be here all day. Like, that happens in literally every other match. Eye poking is just a part of wrestling. It's nothing to go, oh, how dare you... So the fact that she lost to an eye poke doesn't really protect her whatsoever. Now, if Bayley was to have gotten help from like Carmella or someone else, or she used a weapon, that's different. That gave her an unfair advantage over Bianca. You could get away with that. And the whole story could be Bayley is actually not better than Bianca Belair. She's just, maybe she's more clever, she's smarter. But it's clear that Bianca is a better wrestler. If it was clean one-on-one, like a clean match one-on-one, uninterrupted, Bianca would win. But since Bayley just beat her outright, we just basically told the world that Bayley is better than Bianca, and Bayley lost clean to Natalya. Like, it doesn't make any sense the way they book some of these matches. So I hated that last week. This week was fine. Bianca, well, first off, it was a 3-way tag match, so she had to deal with 4 other women, because she wasn't dealing with Sasha. But yeah, she was dealing with 4 other women. That's okay. That's fine. And then, of course, you had a distraction interference from Bayley, which, look, that's another one I'm getting sick of. These distraction finishes, which is actually better than the eye poke. It does get to a point where, all right, if you keep losing to these things, it starts to be a reflection on you. So this one time, Bianca losing to a distraction finish, fine. But if she keeps losing to them, it's not going to make her look good. She needs to be booked how she is. Bianca Belair calls herself the EST. Fastest, strongest, toughest, meanest, best. B-E-S-T. That's how it should be. See what I did there, Ryan? Now, in my opinion, it's really not that hard to book her. All you gotta do is just have her win. A lot. Consistently. That's it. I'm the EST and I'm proving it. Until people cheat. They have to cheat, pull underhanded tactics to beat me. They can't beat me in a fair match. Yeah, she should lose every once in a while. She can't win all her matches. Even the best. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, basketball, baseball, whatever sport you watch, the best lose. That's going to happen. So even though she's the EST, doesn't mean she needs to win all her matches, but she needs to prove in some shape or form that she is better on a different level than all the other women, and if you fight her one-on-one, you lose to her. Fair. You fight her one-on-one fairly, you're going to lose to her. That's how it should be. You kind of nit that in the butt. You didn't really do her any favors when Bayley had her basically beaten clean last week. So now we put Bianca in a position to be the underdog babyface, which... Now it's, instead of her being the EST, now it's, oh, I want her to be the EST. Bianca will be the EST one day. I want her to be the best. No. She either is or she ain't. And based off of how Corey Graves explained it, she ain't. But she wants to be. I'm just like, what the... Why can't she just be the EST? But all right, whatever. Do your little storytelling with Bianca where she loses some of her matches to Bayley and then eventually gets her win back, and then we'll start booking her strong. It's just ass backwards. Just book her strong from the get-go. Daniel Bryan took on Jey Uso. They had a really good match. But what's interesting about this, Bryan beats Jey Uso and announces he will be entering the Royal Rumble. So this tells me one thing, and I'm not going to tell you who I think will win the Rumble until next Friday. But Bryan has quickly jumped to my top 5 list. He might even be number 1. Think about it. What's the one match we've been dying to see for the last 5 years based off of what happened at the Rumble 2015? With The Rock helping Roman Reigns win and then Roman getting his hand raised and the fans booing him because they wanted Bryan to win. This story has been, it's been simmering for a good 5 years. Well, it'll be 6 years by the time Rumble happens. Let's blow it off. Let's do something with it. You have them in the right alignments. You have Bryan as the face, Roman as the heel. You can have Bryan get very aggressive. And you know they're going to have a great match. So, you have the story. It's there. They don't have to change anything to it. Just literally take what was done 6 years ago and make that the story for WrestleMania. Sounds good to me. I have no complaints with that. Do you? I hope not. I know some of you are going, well, I wanted The Rock. So did I. But I think it's clear that unless we have fans there, which I don't think we're going to have fans, I'm going to be real with you. It ain't happening. Because we're too stupid here in America not to do what we're supposed to do to get the pandemic under control. We're not going to get fans for WrestleMania. I'm sorry. So, with that said, I don't really see The Rock showing up. The Rock might make an appearance to hype the match between him and, by him I mean, Roman and Bryan for WrestleMania to show that he's on Bryan's side. He might do that. He probably should. It would be great if he did. But other than that, he ain't wrestling. You're not going to get Rock versus Roman. I've kind of all but given up on that happening. So if the replacement is going to be Bryan versus Roman, okay. Okay. But I really, really hope that when things get back to normal, and I say when, because we'll eventually get this under control, especially since we have a new guy running the ship soon. When this gets back to normal, you better do Rock versus Roman. Like, signed, sealed, delivered. Rock versus Roman. Make that the Rock's retirement match if you have to. And then finally, we have a new IC champ. Our boy Big E got his moment and beat Sami Zayn in a pretty solid lumberjack match. It was fine. It was exactly what it needed to be. Nothing spectacular, but it did what it needed to do. It established Big E as someone to watch out for, as you should, because in my eyes, he's a future world champ. He's been a future world champ, and we all agree that he should be a world champ, right? Can we all come to a consensus on that? Big E should be a world champion in the future. So this is another case where both WWE and fans see that this man can be something special. We had Paul Heyman basically kissing his ass on Talking Smack, and Paul Heyman is such a goddamn beast when it comes to really helping these talent look strong. I would love to see Big E, and this is something I've been thinking about too. What if, follow me here, what if for WrestleMania, he's not going to fight Roman Reigns. What if we did Big E versus Kofi Kingston at WrestleMania? Xavier Woods in the corner of Kofi. We had Big E eliminate Kofi and Xavier at the Royal Rumble. That sets them off. That has them go crazy and turn on Big E. And Big E, he's hurt. I can't fight my brothers. But then they do that match at WrestleMania. We need some kind of a cross-brand feud, right? They always do a cross-brand feud at WrestleMania. Here you go. Let's do it. We look, when it comes to Big E, and I agree with Paul Heyman, who said this on an episode of Talking Smack. Don't ask me which one it is because I forgot. When it comes to Big E, we need to get him away from the New Day. The New Day was a great act. It has its place in the history of WWE and the annals of WWE. It's going down. It's one of the greatest stables of all time. Thank you. Thank you for 5 very, very good, strong years. It's time for the people to move on. We need to move on. And for us to move on, these wrestlers need to move forward. I think it's time we have Big E be that guy. We start establishing him as that guy. This is how you do it. We need to turn Kofi and Xavier heel. And they should do what they have to, do their part to put him over. Kofi had his time. Kofi had his time. And you can turn Kofi, you could easily turn him heel. It's not that hard to turn him heel. It's been simmering for over a year now that the fact he lost to Brock Lesnar in 8 seconds and now Big E thinks he can be that guy and Kofi's like, no, bitch. No. How dare you think you're better than me? No. How dare you move on from us? And there's a story there too with the New Day not being able to move on. Kofi and Xavier can't move forward. They can't move on. Because this is it. With them, New Day, that's it. It ain't getting any bigger than that. This is like high school. You know how people in high school, when you graduate, you go on to do big things, but they're stuck in high school? Xavier Woods and Kofi are stuck in high school. They're stuck in the New Day. They can't move forward. But Big E's going on to do bigger things. That would make them jealous. That would make them angry. And yeah, I would love that. That would be a great WrestleMania match. Holy shit, let's do it. Imagine that WrestleMania. Bryan versus Roman Reigns, Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks. If they book her correctly, that should happen, by the way. That better happen. You know you're going to get Charlotte and Asuka. They're setting that up very well. Deal with it. Shut up. Shut up. Deal with it. Deal with it. Sorry. Woo! Woo! Kevin Owens, who then becomes Kevin Steen to take on Sami Zayn. Oh, that's good. And then Big E versus Kofi Kingston. Oh, man. With Xavier Woods in Kofi's corner. That would be an awesome WrestleMania. Those matches alone, right there. Everything else can fall into place. You can put whoever the hell else, Street Profits, I don't care, do something with them. But, yes. Those 5 matches. Bryan versus Roman. Big E versus Kofi. Kevin versus Sami. Sasha versus Bianca. And, of course, Charlotte versus Asuka. Deal with it. Shut up. Deal with it. Now, you can argue that maybe Charlotte versus Asuka is kind of weak. You can probably make that better. Okay. How about... Well, Ronda's contract is about to expire, so maybe they'll do Ronda versus Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte would beat Asuka for the title earlier, and then we'll do Ronda and Charlotte. Maybe we'll do Asuka and Ronda, which would be even better. Ooh, I like that. Who knows, y'all? Who knows? But yeah, give me your thoughts down below. How y'all feel about this? How we feeling? You feeling good? I hope you feeling good. So, I'll be responding to all comments in the first 24 hours. Thank you for watching me. Thank you for making me a part of your day. Merry Christmas! What's the rest of the year looking like? So, essentially, I have, the end of the year awards. Starting tomorrow will be the headline of the year, and then we'll do return of the year, and then we'll do champion of the year, and then we'll do, you know, match of the year, female wrestler of the year, and then you know what we're gonna do. But starting tomorrow, it will be headline of the year. And this is all leading up to next Friday, which is January 1st. That will be my first video live back. It will be actually live, which is called Who Should Win the 2021 Royal Rumble. All right, then. Well, until then, guys, thank you so much for making me a part of your day. I will catch you guys next time, right here in Alex's World. You guys take it easy. Have a good one. And peace out.